Embla Books presents A Taste of Greek Summer by Mandy Baggot, read by Daphne Kouma. Chapter 1. Obelisk 1, London, UK. Lydia Broom's hand was shaking as she put fork prongs to the intricately posed dish on the plate in front of her. What had they called it again? A whisper of salmon? Or was it a ghost? She was going to have to ask, maybe before she took a bite. And a bite was all it was. Perhaps not even a whole bite. It was the smallest main dish she had ever been served. She raised her head to see if she could attract the attention of someone working at the upmarket eatery, Obelisk 1, that they were guests at, for its soft opening. Nice and pretentious, with the name suggesting both opulence and plans for other premises in the future. Very on trend. But personally, she thought it sounded like a Russian submarine. Lydia looked to the open kitchen. She could actually see the head chef from their vantage point on a slightly raised plinth with mood lighting. He was pretending to be busy, but his eyes kept flicking up from the galley to survey the patrons. Pristine white outfit, somehow looking like it hadn't been near food. Ever. And he seemed way too composed. In Lydia's experience, most chefs were always on his or her toes. Energetic, slightly erratic, eager, a bit frazzled. His sous chef had no doubt done the real work here. Opposite, Caroline, her colleague, slammed her mobile to the table and dived her fork straight into the salmon carpaccio with lemon aioli and a pork rind crumble. And then it was gone. Just like that. And Caroline was slugging it down with a great gulp of red wine. There was absolutely no chance she had tasted any of the highly nuanced flavours Lydia was reporting on for food and lifestyle magazine Luxe Living. Where Lydia's expertise was culinary excellence, Caroline's was aspirational living. However, when it came to personal taste, Caroline's was for more pucker pie than charcoal focaccia. Ordinarily, Caroline wouldn't be accompanying Lydia on a reviewing visit. But it had been decided at the magazine that as Obelisk 1 was paying a substantial sum to have its brand new restaurant splashed all over the front cover of the winter edition, all the stops needed to be pulled out. Caroline was all the stops, and she was going to write an article about starting a new business when the high street was dying. Well, if that was a tissue of salmon, then it was only the bloody one-ply kind, Caroline announced very loudly. A tissue of salmon, that was it. Lydia made a mental note. The wine's all right, though, but I think I might need another. Caroline was halfway towards putting her hand in the air to beckon a waiter when Lydia stopped her. You don't need another one yet. She held on to Caroline's hand with her own, and then the fork dropped out of her other one, right on top of the food, bashing the salmon's sliver and making the small stack fall over, plop, into the aioli sauce. Shit, Lydia said, dropping her hold on Caroline and picking up her fork. Did we get sent pictures of these dishes? No idea, Caroline said. I did take some lovely pics of their light fittings, though. Very on trend with the steampunk and industrial touches. Very regeneration. With sandstone and Sanskrit, too. It was a melting pot of themes, that was for sure. Well, whether or not they had photos of the feat of engineering that was their minute layered meal, Lydia did need to taste it. She pushed her light blonde hair back behind her ears and picked up the fork again. Scooping up the intricate shaving of salmon, she then used her knife to lick over the aioli and add a little of the crumb. While you're farting about playing with your food and I wait for inspiration for my article, I'll have a quick skim over Insta. I'm becoming obsessed with Greece in all its forms. Sea, sky, scantily clad actors. Oh, and I've unfollowed Nigel, BTW. Nigel was their line manager. Wasn't it obligatory to follow your boss? Particularly when everything they did at the magazine was about
Sample complete. Ready to continue?